want to understand potential-wise, you need to look at growth rate. Growth rate of crypto holders and adopters is higher than the adopters of the internet. So basically, the crypto market is growing faster than the internet. Hello guys, welcome to the Sendcrypto podcast. Today we have a bit of a different podcast than usual. We have a guest today with us. His name is Andrey. He's the founder of Magic Square. It's a new backed by Binance Lab project, which came to basically create a revolution in everything regarding to the app stores and dApps, Web3. And I will let him explain a bit more about his project and tell you a little bit about what they're up to, what they're doing. Very exciting project, being backed by very, very major companies. So everybody, of course, afterward, check them out. And we're just going to have a discussion, me and him, as both guys that adopted crypto very, very early, that likes crypto. So we're going to do an open discussion. It's probably going to be on multiple topics, things that are interest on our side, and from our project perspective, and the things that will be interesting from his side and his project perspective. And of course, I hope that during this podcast and discussion that we have between the two of us, we will answer a lot of questions that you might have, just by hearing us giving our opinion. Of course, everything here is just our personal opinion. It's none of it is a financial advice. None of it is there to motivate you to make any type of an investment or to take any type of steps that can cause you any risk in regarding to your capital or in regarding to your funds. So please meet Andrey from Magic Square.
Hello. First
Hi,
of all,
Andrey.
thank you for having me here. And yes, Magic Square, it's aiming to become a gateway to crypto. Right now, the crypto universe, it's amazing, first of all. Yeah, I'm in this space from 2013, and I'm in love with crypto from 2017. I left my day job and doing only crypto. And the biggest challenge with non-professional users, it's a discovery. So for traditional industry, like, if you're a project, B2C project, you want to be discovered. Yeah, you want other people to find you.
Yeah.
And for discovery, we have App Store and Google Play. This is the main places for discovery. Yeah. For web, you have, web stores.
Yeah.
Both for Windows and Apple, they have their web version as well. And discovery, it's a main challenge. Why? Because in App Store alone, you have more than 100,000 apps listed per month.
Wow.
Yeah, it's huge. And you want other people to find you. Other way, how you will distribute yourself. So in crypto, the case is different. If you will open CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, all those platforms, you will see in crypto, there's a lot of apps. Yeah. But relatively, if you'll compare it to the traditional industry, it's super small. It's 20,000 projects.
Yeah.
Listed on CoinMarketCap. If you'll talk about the production ready projects, it's 50 projects on average per month.
Wow.
So we are a tiny industry. The entire industry, it's like half of one Apple stock. Yeah. So we'll consider, it's a big and impactful industry. I believe that it will become a very impact and it will become a mainstream. But in order to take it to the mainstream, we need to simplify processes. As I mentioned, then the first step is discovery. Right now, with all the exchanges, you have discovery of tokens. Yeah, you can discover, but what about discovery of your product?
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, it's supposed to be product first. Of course, if people will love your product and you have a real good use case for your token, then they will use your token. Otherwise, they will just pump and dump your tokens, and you can't complain that people just interested in manipulation and not using your product.
Because there is not a real utility, basically.
Yeah, it's not utility, and in most of the cases, the token is not connected to the product.
Yeah, correct.
And even today, if you want to discover your product, you're still going to your browser. 2022. I just need to print what I want to play a game. It's not an Axie Infinity like a super popular game. I still go to my browser and type what are the best play to run games.
Yeah, you still need to Google it. Yeah.
Yeah, I Google it. And they are getting a lot of results. Yeah. And in some cases, the results presented by affiliates. I have nothing about affiliation, but affiliations, it's here to push more products. But what about, the popularity, the security, the stability? You don't have any vetting process. I will get back to the App Store. Apple engineers actually validate every single app before it's listed.
Of course.
And in crypto space, who validated the app? Nobody.
No one.
And I remember a very interesting article that talked about what are the 10 steps that you need to do in order to make sure that the app is good to use. You need to open the GitHub, go to the LinkedIn profiles of the founders, and many other steps.
You need to make the diligence on the app, basically.
Exactly. Me as a user, I don't want to do diligence. I want in one click to open an app. I want to trust it. The app is not a scam. And this is the way to go. This is why actually we built Magic Square. Magic Square is here to present community vetted applications that you can in very simple way to discover and use. This is Magic Square in a nutshell. There's a lot of other components, but those components are coming on top of the essence of the platform.
As auxiliary services.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is that you pretty much created, I will call it like a billboard that is much more aimed for dApps, for crypto-oriented type of applications.
Only crypto, yeah.
That is only crypto. So basically you are removing all the noise around it. Because if you're going to go, for example, to the Android store or to Apple store, like you mentioned, you will get hundreds of thousands, if not tens of thousands of app that each one is in a different vertical, different sector, and nothing is really that focused and aimed. And on the other thing that you're putting, which is very, very important, especially in this type of market, like the crypto market, which you have a pop-up shops every day, which there is a lot of pull rugs, scams, different ways of people getting your crypto. And we can see it with millions of products that are coming up, popping up and disappearing. So you created the type of a vetting system that knows how to come to you and tells you, listen, if it's in our shop, you can use it. Like
exactly.
be rest assured.
Exactly.
We made our diligence.
We built the DAO. Yeah. So initially, I don't want it to become a gatekeeper. Yeah. Like an Apple, that you need to vet any single app. Since the community power is amazing. Yeah. If you know how to collaborate with your community, this is a huge win for any company. And our community, can become part of the community, can become validators. So these validators, 250 validators chosen randomly out of this registered community, and they have a process of vetting every single app, many steps. So this actually what we are doing in order to, first of all, to scale. Yeah. So we can grow rapidly. And from the other hand, we have a very interesting system, we have a DAO. Yeah. That actually regulate the listing and delisting processes.
Yeah. So basically, if I understand correct, what you're saying is that just like there is, let's go to the place that most of us know, like the validators of Bitcoin transactions or any type of a blockchain transaction. So so you took the same mechanism, and instead of validating the transaction, in this case, they are validating the app. So exactly. They make sure that there is no fault plays in it.
Proof of work.
Proof of work, exactly.
Yeah, they need to work in order to prove it.
And you were mentioning about your DAO and about the fact that there will be 250 validators that will be randomly chosen. Now, for example, one question I'm sure a lot of people want to ask is how you can become a validator of apps.
So in order to become a validator, I will add, a few layers on top of validation. The entire system is controlled by the user IDs. In our case, is DID, decentralized ID. We are creating these deeds for any user. It's called Magic ID. And this Magic ID is an essence of, elaborating between people, between projects and whatsoever. So
when you say user, it's anyone who is using your app, or a user is someone who uploaded an app to your...
A user is anyone that using the app.
Everyone that uses it.
Including those people that want to list an app, they need to have the Magic ID before.
So basically, if I want to use your app in order to download an app or find an app, I will need to have my DID with you first, my decentralized ID with you first.
It's not mandatory. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not mandatory. You can skip on this process. If the app, for example, requires you to have a wallet, you need to have a wallet, a part of your Magic ID.
So like Wallet Connect in a way.
Wallet Connect, but more advanced version of Wallet Connect. So you can connect all your wallets, you can collect all your personal information and do the KYC if needed and store it in your Magic ID in the centralized way when you control all your data.
So basically I have my own vault that controls everything, that I store there everything, and then I have the ability to give access and limit the access.
And revoke access.
Yes.
So, and you know that your data that you gave in an access to one of the apps, it's not going to be reused by other apps because you control it.
Because you have limitation. You can control who is exposed to what.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And additional, right now, the paradigm, if you're not paying for the service or for the product, you're the product. Yeah. So in this case, we are giving you ability to charge money for your data. For example, if someone wants to get your data, you can ask them to pay for the access. This is one of the possibilities or options that I think will become very popular in the future.
Okay. So basically, and this is in regarding to the apps that were required from you. So let's, for example, there is a wallet, right, that you want to download, and this wallet has the requirement to ask from you your KYC.
Yeah.
You will need to approve him to
get access
to your KYC.
Exactly.
Okay. And what would be the difference between the process of him just doing his KYC with the wallet?
So imagine that you're accessing 5 exchanges and a few wallets, and you need to do the KYC time after time. Here we are doing the KYC just once.
So basically, you will have the connection to the
KYC provider,
not the requester, and you will send it to them.
Yep.
So basically, what that means is that you will have an API type of a connection with the wallet provider in this case.
With any application.
With any application that in this case he wants to use, and then you will be able to provide it to them.
Yep, exactly.
Understood. Okay. So if basically we're going to this area, I'm just very interested in the part of the decentralized ID, just because it's one of the most new technology that we have right now, Polygon ID, that they just introduced theirs, of course. And also because it's touching a very, very, I believe, a very, very hard point and a very painful point in the crypto world, which all of this KYC part, because on one side, everybody like the narrative of it's anonymous and crypto, it's your control, you control your funds, you control your data, and all those things. But on the other side, we know that there is different regulation and derivatives that are coming out, like for example, MiCA 5 in Europe that already came out, that basically says that for now, it's wallet providers, but soon it's probably going to be crypto dEPs as well that are involving any type of transactions with crypto will be required to get a KYC on their clients. So know your clients will be mandatory for every wallet in Europe. And of course, the United States said that they're already going to adopt it as well.
For sure.
So in this case, what I'm saying is that coming from a traditional finance background and coming from the other side of finance that is not crypto, when you have an obligation of require KYC on your clients, first of all, you're not allowed to get it from third parties. It has to be directly to your institution. So it's a one touch between you and the client. This is on one side. The other side is that there is a type of it's called a refresh of KYC in a way, right? You need to re-request certain things from your clients. Now, in this case, what you are saying with the decentralized ID is basically that you're saying is we are becoming also, in a way, a KYC storage provider. So we store the KYC.
This is the idea right now. So regulation and regulators are changing their mind, frequently.
Of course.
And at the end of the day, if the same company, same service provider doing the KYC are used by us and by the application, why we can share the same data that's verified by the same company? And let's assume at the same period of time. So if you need to renew it after half a year, you need to standard criteria that this KYC created a maximum half year ago and not, longer than that.
Yeah.
So I I think that regulation can definitely impact the way it can work. But right now, I want to believe we are coming from the different angle, from the user angle. Yeah. I want the user to be able not to spend time on the bureaucracy, to do the KYCs, because as a store or as a marketplace, you're always building something that's supposed to be accessible, easy, simple, and fast. KYC process takes time. And it's definitely decrease the will of the user to proceed with the process. If you'll see, okay, I need to do KYC, I will skip. I will skip on it. We'll see it kills our conversion rate.
100%. 100%.
So if I will find a way how to prevent you from doing multiple KYCs, and the regulator going to be fine because we are doing everything properly. And here it's very important part is security. All the data in the ID is stored locally on your device and you control it. We don't have any single point of failures like a central database. Because if you are a Visa company, and you're storing all your data securely in an encrypted way in a single database, if someone will somehow hack this database, they will get access to all your users. Here, it's impossible because every user you need to hack his personal device. And it's impossible, how many users you can have.
But this brings me into that's the interesting part about it, by the way. Again, I'm very interested about it because from our perspective and our side of our product, we also experience, like we're investigating into this thing, right? And what I believe is it's an amazing technology that's coming out. I think it's a bit too early. I think most of the product did not really think it all the way through, including Polygon, by the way, which they admitted lately. They didn't think it really through because on the other side, what you're saying is basically everything is being stored on the device of the user and the user have the ability to give access or to revoke access, right? Now, when you're talking about the ability to revoke access, that's basically mean that you can onboard to the app, provide your KYC. Now you onboarded as a client and then you revoke access from them. Or in case that you know that you're going to stop the service, you're going to revoke access to your KYC, which they have the mandatory obligation to save it for a certain period of time. So on one side, we're saying, I'm not giving you access. It's not going to be on your database as the solution provider, as the service provider. It's only as privacy on the device of the users, which is unworkable for the service provider. And on the other side, there is the other part, which you're saying that it's everything being stored on my device. Then if it's stored on my device, that means that I need to give access all the time to even into the marketplace in a way, right?
Of course.
So the marketplace will need to request
by ourselves, we are integrated to the service. And the user needs
so you're like a service provider basically also that you're requesting the access all the time. Again, I think it's a very exciting.
But here's the point. It's like Google Connect or Apple Connect. You just need to approve it with your wallet that you're providing us with an access. And then you can track all the permission that you gave to all the service providers, all the applications.
Non-compliance ones though. So
non-compliance
ones. That's the difference.
Non-compliance is easy. Regarding the compliance one, okay, I gave you access to my KYC and then I revoked an access.
But that's what the thing is that I will have to store it then. That's what I'm saying. That's where they will need to solve. This is the issue. I can open it further.
Right now, we are checking different options, how to distribute data between private and public blockchains. So you don't.
That's, I believe, yes. This is the point.
That this is the next step. We are already in the process.
When you will be able to store it on a public ledger in a way which there is an access, because in the end, I think like we spoke earlier between the two of us, in the end, we understand that it's all about the mass adoption, right? And we understand that for mass adoption, it needs to be, first of all, an adoption by governments. If government don't adopt it and government don't allow you to use it, you will not be able to use it. We saw it. And again, there is a lot of people are not even aware of it, but cryptocurrency, for example, was existing before Bitcoin. We're talking about e-gold, for example. E-gold was really the first one that they came out and they said like, listen, we can do a digital gold-backed type of currency anonymously, no need for KYC, no need for bank accounts, non-centralized facilitator for all of these things. And what happened? It took them exactly 8 years until they're being shut down. One of them went to jail. The other ones got the fines.
Okay. Yeah, I understand the point.
Because of the multiple reasons of government control, that in the end they need to have a certain type of control. I agree with you on the point that by technology, you can limit the exposure, which I believe that that's where it's going to go for. And I believe that that's the real future, let's say, of blockchain, getting to the point that you are building a structure that provide a certain amount of privacy and anonymously in a way, but it can never be over the threshold that government will be able to accept.
I completely agree. So I think at the end of the day, we live in countries with rules.
Exactly.
And we need to pay taxes. Yeah, if we make money. And at the end of the day, we will see that doesn't matter what regulators will provide a legal structure that will control the process of data management, your personal data management, exposure, and we're talking about anonymity. Yeah, how anonymous the platform or not is going to be also dictated by the government.
100%. For sure, yes. The control, for sure. But again, and they're taking the step, like with GDPR, for example, the new laws that they created in Europe, it's not so new now, but when you think about it, before it was the Wild Wild West, and then they created GDPR laws, the right to be forgotten laws, which we never had before, which it gives you. They are, I think they are pro the privacy. I'm not one of those conspiracy guys that will tell you that government is all about non-privacy. Government, I don't think they're about non-privacy. I think they're just about, to make sure that they have the access, let's call it. They call themselves the right guys, right? So the right guys needs to have their access to it. And that's what they want to make sure. And I believe that again, it's all of these decentralized ideas and in regarding to, like, for example, yesterday in the AMA that you had.
Yeah.
So Bill was his name, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He was talking about Zcash from Snowden.
Yeah.
He was one of them, right? And he was talking about a real privacy coin and Zcash. One thing that he didn't really mention is what happened with Zcash in 2018. Zcash basically came to be the darknet coin, official coin of the darknet in a way.
Yeah.
Why? Because really that's the only chain that can provide you this privacy of anonymity that nobody really knows. You don't need shuffling, let's say, for the Zcash. But if you look at it like that, those are cool gimmicks and it's nice things. All of those type of coins will be nice for 200 million people, let's say, or for 100,000 people that wants to use the darknet, but not for mass adoption.
It's not a mass
that.
adoption.
Exactly. And we are talking about mass adoption. We know that, like, for example, let's say, I think the most popular narrative is that Bitcoin will will reach the market cap of gold, for example. So if you take gold, if you look at gold before regulation, before the gold standard, basically, gold was nothing. It was a mean of exchange that was not even equal to 3%. After the gold standard came in, the growth of gold adoption was, if I'm not mistaken, around 1,000% year to year for the first 6 years, 7 years.
Exactly.
So that's what we need to have. And in order to have that, you need to have adoption first by governments, like we said, like with the gold standard, for example. So I believe
in order to make it unstoppable, you need a government's adoption. Users, especially in the young generation, they don't really care about governments. They don't think about it, the effect, how government affect the way business operates. And mass adoption, we spoke before. So it's supposed to happen. Why? Because most people get right narrative to use crypto. Yeah. And for me, I'm a gamer. I played all type of games. I spent, I think, 7 years of my life playing World of Warcraft. Yeah. And games is definitely one of these sectors, industries. One of the biggest industries in the world is gaming. Yeah. And gamers today, you have a pro gamers that we spoke about them. They make a lot of money with huge budgets and professional gaming teams. Everything is there. But most of the gamers are not pro gamers. And for them, my son that playing Fortnite, he spent time and money but without additional benefits between the, he liked the game.
Yeah.
But if you'll provide him with financial incentive to play the game, he will definitely do it because it's twice more fun.
100%.
You play and earn.
100%.
I'm not talking about the existing play to earn mechanism.
Yeah, of course.
I'm talking about the fundamental thing that you're playing, and you have things, for example, World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
You have all the legendary items that you can resell. But imagine that you can resell because this item belongs to you. And you have an open market for very rare things, items.
No, 100%. You're talking about creating a financial ecosystem, basically.
Exactly.
Inside the game world, which is 100%. It's a huge market, and 100% is going to go there. And I think crypto really opened the door for it, because if you're thinking about now the traditional way that it's working, as a business, as a game even, as a game provider, let's say right now I'm Fortnite. In order for me to give the ability to my user to have financial transactions between them, first of all, I'm considered to be a financial institution now. It's a whole complete different ballgame.
It's not a P2P.
Exactly. So one, it's not going to be P2B. It's always going to be you're going to have to be the facilitator. So it will never be a P2P. Second of all, you need to basically be based on different PSPs, payment providers, to give you the ability. Of course, it's required a lot of fees. Then you need to support different payment methods if it's bank accounts, and then you have a regional
and then you have conciliations,
and then you have recalls and chargeback, and then you have he's from India with rupee, and we are an institution sitting in America, so there is the exchange rates as well. And then you have Visa don't support this region, MasterCard don't support that region. Wire transfer takes time. If it's a cross-border, it's SWIFT, can take 3 days. If it's SEPA, can take 24 hours, which is not effective, right? That's really when we're talking about it in a matter of financial solution, that's where really crypto come to hand. The thing that crypto solve more than anything else is a financial solution right now. I'm not talking about the technology. I'm not talking about blockchain. I'm not talking about different solution like the decentralized ID and create market space for amazing depths that will come.
Simplicity.
It's simplicity
and availability.
Accessibility. Exactly.
It's available, accessible all the time, 24/7, across the world. You don't unstoppable solution.
Yeah, I call it non-racist solution. In a way.
Okay.
Basically, what it does, it's one true global currency. This is the one true global currency. Why it's global? Because, like we said, there is no borders for cryptocurrency. No. Think about it. Right now, you can be in a complete. All right, I'll give you an example. Right, the example I like to use the most. Let's talk about a place like Nigeria, for example. All right, and a lot of regions in Africa. Right. The percentage of the population that own a bank account is around 14 to 20%. The percent of the population that own a smartphone is over 80%. Now think about a funny part here. Every person who owns a smartphone owns a crypto wallet. Mm-hmm. Means he can transact with crypto.
Yep, exactly.
So basically already you can see that in developing countries, for example, right? And third world countries, which cell phone exposure or expansion is much more aggressive and much higher than banking expansion, because it's easier for them on the one side. So basically a cell phone exposure or expansion, it's a crypto expansion. Because in the end, you need a cell phone to have crypto. That's the only thing you need. You don't need to have a computer. You don't need to have...
The problem of unbanked, I remember.
The bankless, exactly.
Yeah, I remember like 7-10 years ago, in any firm that you went, financial firm, people talked about the unbanked. Why? Because it's your immediate suspect. It's a huge target audience. But
people over $1 trillion.
In Africa specifically, many people, they're not living in central cities. They live in faraway places with a very big infrastructure, but the only thing that they have is the cell phone. Yeah, of course. In Africa, it's very common to pay with airtime. This is your money. Yeah. So actually the system is there. People use it. And I think with introduction of crypto, it's the same like airtime for Africa, but global.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's global airtime. Yeah. It's your digital currency. You can pay it all around.
Which
You don't
is
have borders.
even simpler than that, because the airtime is still centralized by the cellular provider. In this case, it's an airtime that is uncentralized because it's in everywhere. It's billions of cellular companies it can be. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
And then I do believe that one day we will see a very good agreements between companies like cellular companies, insurance companies, and you can pay with your crypto, with your wallet to all those institutions. And we already see recurrent payments, crypto recurrent payment. And this is like a huge snowball. That just, we're just in the early beginning, and people think that, okay, we missed crypto in 2013. We missed it in 2015 and 17. No, it will compare it to the internet industry. Imagine that 2020, it was 10 years after the internet was presented, and we are talking, okay, there's no other places. Everything is full. You can do nothing because, people created everything.
Yeah, you missed it.
No, you missed it, friend. No, 2020, it was just a early beginning of the industry.
Yeah.
Right now, we are just in early beginning, and there's so many things to do. And yes, government will dictate the trend of the institutions to join it, and to adopt it. But I think it's, a matter of time.
No, 100%. In regard to beginning, if also look at it in scale wise, right? So we're talking about right now 220 million, right? That's the amount of people that are holding crypto today.
Yeah.
Which, if you take it as part of the population, it's nothing. We're talking about few percentage.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, what's important to look, if you really want to look at data and you want to understand potential wise, you need to look at growth rate. Growth rate of crypto holders and adopters is higher than the adopters of the internet. So basically, the crypto market is growing faster than the internet.
Yeah, if you start to talk about the market, and I think many people that will listen to this podcast, they will ask, okay, the crypto market is in a huge downturn. Yeah, we get back
price-wise.
Yeah,
we're talking about adopters and users.
No, I understand, but the interesting part is to see the adoption under these conditions.
Still increasing.
Exactly.
100%.
So people, what I'm trying to say, that people don't really afraid that this market is going to die.
I think
in 2018, it wasn't the case.
Oh, 100%. 2018, everybody thought it's going to zero.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm sure now there is still people...
it went from 20 to 3,000.
3,200, yes. But I'm sure that still there is people who say it's going to go to zero. You have Peter Schiff type of people and all of those things, like...
We have one common friend that he can describe crash when the price is going down by 99% and then going by another 99%. This is crash. Yeah. Right now, we are not there.
I think that right now we are, for those who are old enough to remember the dot-com bubble, and to remember the beginning of internet, which again, I was very, very young, but I can still remember. And of course, from research that I was doing, take any major company that you see today. First of all, 99 failed. Yeah. Like there was 99% of the companies closed. They went bust.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we're seeing today, first of all, with Georgia, with Solana, with the Celsius, Trip Capital Arrows, all of Trio Capitals, all of those guys, right? Now, it's all normal. It's how it's supposed to be. Because if you look at history, it's always happening in any type of new industry. We are in that's exactly the indicator, by the way, for a new industry. That's how you know you are not late. The opposite, you are early. Those who come now to crypto, they're early. They don't understand it yet, but you are still very, very early.
And I think that it's not financial advice, but I think that the people that missed it in 2017, it's the right time to step into the crypto world. Why? Because I think, as a trader, you're looking for the downturns to step in.
Of course, you want to buy the dip.
Yeah, buy the dip.
100%. Yeah. With it, I also believe that, again, it's scary times, especially when you're new, especially that the crypto. I think the difference with crypto and different traditional investments, instruments and assets is that it's in crypto, you have much more unexperienced type of investors. first timers, let's call it newbies, right?
Of course.
Like, for example, if you look about people that don't really have any financial background or don't have any understanding in regard to investment, usually you don't want to see them to go and buy S&P 500 or NASDAQ, or you see them like analyzing different stocks or earning report, right season and all of these things. And they tell you, okay, which we're going to buy. They just don't touch it. They basically, most of the people are not touching things they don't know. The unknown is scary. I think crypto, it's the only one that ever came to us that basically new investors, let's call it, are not scared of it in a way. They're buying. Now, that's the problem. That's the weak hands, basically, because they're buying and then the price crash in 10% or 8% or 14 or like what we just witnessing 70, 80%. For them, it's the end of the world. They're like, okay, it's done. It's zero. Like, that's it. All my money is gone. When they see, let's say $1,000 go down to $300, for them, they're done. That's it. And this is the weekend. And that's why we're seeing this volatile, like how volatile it is, just because there is so many weekends there, right? So immediately when you get a crash, they are fueling those crashes. Not to mention about all the leverage that's going on in this market. It's a super over leveraged market. And every time that you have an over leveraged market, you get insane crashes and pumps as well. Just because the buying power, it's much stronger, which is a fake. It's artificial buying power. So you see that. But to go back to the point of being early, and I want to go back to the point also of your project. So if basically we understand that we are in the beginning, just like with the internet world, right? Just like the internet started, and then you got companies like Google, PayPal, and all of those companies, Amazon, all of those companies that started, right? In your case, basically, you're creating the marketplace for all of those companies to come in.
Yeah.
So a company like mine, for example, like Sendcrypto to come in, like any company any project that will decide that he wants to take part of this new world, which called blockchain and crypto, you are basically his place. You're the marketplace for him to be. So in this case, what would be your advice as the one that basically welcome all of those new devs? What would be your advice for a project that is thinking about starting right now? Would you tell them like, listen, wait, hold up, not a good time, wait a little bit? Or would you like, what would be your advice? Like, how would you tell them to strategize this enter to the market?
I will tell for sure that the cycle is super important. Why? Because imagine that you're building your project and you're releasing it to the market when Bitcoin is 60. And then the Bitcoin goes to 20. What are the chances that your project will be successful under the pressure, under the market pressure?
It will make it very difficult.
Very difficult. Yeah. But if you're going live with your project when the market is weak, and then all of us believe in uptrend that will come. Yeah. And under this consideration that this trend is just a matter of time, you're building your project and you're going up with the entire industry. You have a big uptrend from the market. It's very important to come at the right point of time. The second of all, I think that in terms of the users, they're starving for good content.
Yeah, for sure.
I will do a small comparison. Axie Infinity, they're amazing. They created a big industry of play-to-earn games. Yeah. But in my opinion, if you compare Axie Infinity to World of Warcraft, I will still play the World of Warcraft game.
Quality of game wise.
Yeah. The quality of content, quality of titles. Yeah. This are other titles. Yeah. And these titles are not in the crypto industry yet. All the crypto games that exist, they're okay. They're not brilliant, in terms of content. And I do believe that, first of all, to develop a good game, it takes a lot of time. Yeah, it's taking 2, 3, 4, 5 years just to develop it. So we will see a good content, good games will come to the market and will exponentially expand the boundaries of crypto users. We will see mass adoption. Many users will come, and these users that will already have the tokens of the project, they will start to learn more about other projects as well. So I do believe that this is a perfect time to step in, to build, to create, to approach communities. And in 5 to 10 years from now, it's not a short period of time, we will see that you mentioned earlier, what are the budget of all the gaming, of the gaming competitions, tournaments. It's like an ABA budget. Yeah. So imagine that right now our budget, it's not like an ABA budget. It's tiny budget that just came up to spend, and people ready to spend their money. Good content, right timing. This is what we are looking for. And I think right now we are in perfect conditions, this perfect storm.
Yeah, no, I agree. I also think that right now that's also part of the reason why I'm under the opinion that we are early, is that when you look at the market right now in all the projects, it's basically like we are in a concept phase. There is a lot of good concepts, but just like any concept car, it looks good, but it's just not practical yet. Like any concept car, it looks amazing. You see it, wow, like a spaceship. But if you're going to go inside, you cannot really do it, right? And I think we see it in a lot of projects as well. With it, I can say that we're seeing now lately much more than before is actually big institutions and also individuals that come from different vectors and different areas of business coming into this world. And that's bring much more, I believe, solid projects. Now, when I'm saying solid project, I'm talking that it's not just young dreamers with a chase after the buck that have a concept in their mind, write a light paper or a white paper, publish it out, made a token, and I don't know, got funding of 20 million or 10 million or 2 million or whatever, right? And then we see that most of the product don't even exist yet because the concept was cool. It looks very cool, but it was not practical. So I think much more practical people are coming into the space. Much more practical companies are coming that actually look at user experience, functionalities, cost effectiveness, and mass adoption. They are no longer going to the niche. The niche is no longer the aiming point. The aiming point right now, I think with most, and also a product like yourself, it's more of an infrastructure type of project. Because we understand that in order to have mass adoption, to have infrastructure, right? Just like, for example, with everything that we see, like when you build a country, when you build a city, right? You have roads. You need to have roads. It's not enough to have Lambos and Ferraris in your parking. If you don't have the road to drive it, it sits in your parking. And that's basically where we're sitting with crypto as I see it.
Yeah.
We're basically sitting with crypto right now. That crypto is cool. Crypto is a nice concept. It's very nice. It's nice to have the bags and hodl them, right? I'm hodling my bags, you're hodling your bags. But when we want to use our bags, where's the roads? We don't really have them. And the roads that we are currently having are not really cost-effective roads, not really user experience roads. Especially if we're going to go to a specific niche, which I like to focus on, and that's where Sendcrypto come to hand. And that's what we are aiming more. It's on the microtransactions, which are unbelievably not comfortable and not really implemented properly, as I believe, in the current situation. If it's in regarding to the Ethereum net with the gas fee, which we saw with the NFT phase, that it's insane that the gas fee can come to a certain amount that were unbelievable. And if it's in regarding to Bitcoin, miner fees for microtransaction. Now we got the Lightning Network, which is a bit better, but before the Lightning Network was impossible. So literally to go and buy a cup of coffee is something that you will not do with Bitcoin. It's just not going to be cost effective. And I believe that that's where it's coming from. And this is what I'm excited about, to see projects that are coming with infrastructure solutions. So basically they come and they say, we are no longer building cars. We're starting to build the bridges and the roads. And I believe that when we're going to have enough of those, then mass adoption also, it will be much easier for it.
Of course.
Those are the things that will support the mass adoption.
So every industry, they need all the pillars in order to be successful. The first pillar is financial one. Okay, you need to have enough VCs and angel investors.
Yes, 100%. Capital.
And today in crypto, the amount of capital is enormous.
Yeah.
Second of all, you need to have a very good people. Yeah, that the entrepreneurs that willing to build and sustain. It's not, sharpshooters. Okay, we build a project, take the money. No, it's not stable. It's more, mature. This is the right word, mature. People coming because they believe that they can take a part of $1 trillion industry. This is huge industry, 1 trillion, because as an investor, I saw so many projects that tapping industry of $20 billion.
Yeah.
No, we have a $1 trillion opportunity. When on the top of this iceberg, it's a Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it's amazing because it's created the entire move, but the usability of Bitcoin is relatively limited. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do believe that we have many opportunities in many sectors to tap these opportunities with good and solid ideas and good entrepreneurs funded by good investors. And on top of it, when you have these pillars, you need to have developers.
100%.
And let's compare the development power. In the world, we have millions of developers. Yeah. It was 28 million developers, the number that I remember. In the crypto space, it's less than 50,000 developers.
Yeah.
So we have a lack of working power. Someone that will come
because
into
it's
the
new,
space.
because the languages are new as well. Solidity
This is why
new,
I
like
want to
it's
show
new.
it's early beginning.
Yeah, 100%.
We don't have developers. A number of entrepreneurs that come in with solid background. It's not there yet because the entire blockchain technology is new. Yeah. And then you have a distribution, the last layer. Okay, I build it. I want a distribution layer. Right now, everyone needs to build their own marketing teams. Why? Because you don't have any solution like, App Store. Yeah. And this is what we are trying to tap. And every single, pieces of these puzzles is still an early beginning. We will see maturity. And of course, the top layer is government. Yeah, regulation.
Yeah.
I love it because it gives you a lot of things that you can do. You can tap the untapped potential with all the unbanked guys around the world. It's huge. And everything that you're touching right now can become a very interesting opportunity, not for your project only, for the entire industry. Because NFTs, someone presented this, amazing gifts or images of the apes. I like the apes. Yeah. But having all the last discussions, I don't know how I like it. Yes or not? I don't know. I don't have any solid opinion yet.
I think it's a marketing project. It's more than anything. It's a marketing.
No, all the Nazi part.
With the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah.
Again, like any good project and anything good that happen, you're always gonna have the haters and you're always gonna have those who will try to diss it. Again, I don't know. I saw, by the way, the article and the video. I don't know if it's true or not true. The only thing I can say is that in the end, it was a project. I cannot remember the name of the company that is behind the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yuga Labs.
Yuga Labs. I think they did a great job. I think they literally entrepreneur the business, the side of this, the NFTs. CryptoPunk was really the ones who brought it up, but I believe that they did a very, very good job. They're still doing a good job. They have a great community. They have a very strong community, and good for them. The fact that there will be those who will try to come out and diss them might happen. If it's true or not, I don't think it's no one's position beside the community. If you're part of the community, give your opinion. If you're not part of the community, why you give opinion? That's really what I believe. And I said about every project, if you support the community and you are from the beginning and you help build it, establish it, you should have a voice.
Yes.
But if you're outside of the community, let them do what they want.
Coach advisors.
Yeah. No need to be a coach advisor. Exactly. If you're not in the game and you don't play, no need to put your opinion on it, right? And you're always going to have haters.
You don't have skin in the game.
Exactly. I'm sure there is a lot of haters that had the opportunity to be in the first initial minting of the Bored Ape Yacht Club or could buy a Bored Ape for like 2 Ethereums or 1 Ethereum. And now they missed up the train. They missed the opportunity. And now they see it in, I don't know, millions or hundreds of thousands or whatever. And they say to themselves, this project is, and start dissing it. Maybe that's the case. Who knows? I just knew never judge.
Never judge. Exactly.
Never judge. Especially in the crypto world when you have so much of
So I think, if we'll summarize it, we have a lot of opportunities.
100%.
The opportunity is waiting for people that will come, build, distribute, and deliver value to their community.
Yeah.
So we are here, to assist people. I always love talking to the young entrepreneurs regarding the progress process. It's always complicated. Yeah, the road is not simple at all.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, when you're building something that people love, this is the biggest bless.
I think that's the exact point. There is this famous quote: "If you build it, they will come." So I think in this case, it's correct. It's exactly the point. Like you said it in the beginning of the conversation as well, which I believe this is the mature approach, which a lot of people were missing in this space, and more mature people coming, like you say, and more people are having this approach, which is all about the community, which it basically means that it's not, when I'm saying all about the community, I'm not just talking about the fact that you need to have a strong community and nurture it and do all of those different campaigns and to make your coin stronger, your token stronger. I'm talking about the community regarding to the solution that you are providing. In the end, we're all service providers.
Yep.
Everyone. You provide a service with Magic Square. I provide a service with Sendcrypto. Solana provide a service. Polygon provide a service. Everybody provide a service. What I believe is that when you really put, like you said, again, that your aim of the business is to solve a problem in a new market, because we need that. We need those people that will solve problems. That's the only way to make it adapted. That's the only way to make, everybody talk about Bitcoin and crypto as a revolution. I don't see it as a revolution. I see it as evolution.
Exactly.
We are evolving by crypto. Crypto evolve us, just like it happened to us again with the gold standard, just like before the dollars with the silver, clay, like we can go back to rocks, right? It's evolution. And to have an evolution happening, you need to have people like yourself, for example, that create projects that help us evolve. And what I believe is that as many more of those that will come, the more mass adoption we will see. And then I believe that crypto will come from a point of a speculative type of asset or a trading asset or a store of value asset into a real day-to-day usable asset that you can actually use.
Of course.
And that's the mass adoption. And again, we need a lot of depths. So we need a marketplace for them to be able to be out in the world, like you said.
And we need a solution to pay for it.
Yes, and we need a solution to be able to transact with it. Exactly. So we read it up like that. I think thank you very, very much for coming. It was a very nice talk. Of course, guys, subscribe. And if you want to see more of those, especially if you want to see Andrey more, he's a close friend and it's not going to be an issue to bring him up more to the show. Please write in the comments. Let us know. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.